It is almost beyond belief that this morning on Good Morning Britain, the ITV breakfast time television show, that Ed Balls, one of the anchors on the show, should be interviewing his wife, the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper. The event has sparked widespread discussion and criticism, raising important questions about media impartiality and conflict of interest. Ed Balls, the former Labour MP and now a regular television presenter, and a good presenter, frankly, questioned his spouse during a segment discussing the recent violent unrest across England. And the timing of this interview was particularly sensitive given the national crisis following the tragic events such as the stabbings in Southport, which resulted in the loss of 3 young lives, Elise, Bebe and Alice. The atmosphere was charged with riots and violence erupting in multiple cities, reflecting a nation in distress and 400 people apparently being charged today. The situation is ethically fraught when we consider that Balls, despite being a seasoned interviewer, is married to Cooper. Their personal relationship inherently raises questions about his ability to maintain impartiality. Critics have argued that the very setup of this interview compromises journalistic standards. And as commentator Jake Cantor put aptly on Twitter, actual words said this morning on a TV channel with a legal duty to impartiality, baffling that it was allowed to happen. In response to these criticisms, ITV defended the segment, asserting that the interviewers were balanced, fair and duly impartial. Didn't they have anyone else? The public's reaction, largely on social media, suggests a completely different perception. Viewers have described the dynamic as absurd, untenable, irrational, underscoring a broader concern about the blending of personal and professional boundaries in public service broadcasting, the coziness of it all. This controversy also coincides with the heightened social tensions as evidenced by the Islamophobic and racist elements present in the unrest, the instigation of people on social media and on television platforms. The incident where mosques and hotels housing asylum seekers were targeted further complicates the narrative. It is in this fraught context that Balls and Cooper's discussion took place. The privileged elite touching on the difficult questions of social media's role in inciting violence and the perceived biases in policing different protests. While Balls posed serious and relevant questions to Cooper, such as about the government's response to online incitement and the potential double standards in policing, the critique lies in whether he could separate his personal connection from his professional duty. This concern resonates with Nadine White's observation that the interview and the show at large lacked diverse voices with direct experience of racism. The incident is a microcosm of the broader challenges facing modern journalism and the need to uphold impartiality, the dangers of perceived conflicts of interest, the coziness and the deceit that seems to hang like a pall over media at the moment, and the importance of representation, broader representation in media. It also highlights a sensitive balance between personal relationships and professional responsibilities, particularly at times of national crisis. The irony of the situation where a public figure interviews his own partner on matters of public policy underscores the importance of maintaining clear ethical boundaries in journalism unless we want to further undermine public trust. And this was the central issue this morning, the erosion of public trust. Do you think Ed Balls interviewing his wife on British television could restore trust? I don't think so. And the media's role in this story is quite significant, and it's been compromised already in the story. This further compromise does it no good. It does the responsibility of the media no good at all.